I want to ask you one more thing. I know we got a lot more here to talk about, but Super Bowl wise, what's your theme? Like, what's your theme of the matchup? What's the thing you're most intrigued by here? Is it the Mahomes legacy? Is it the Purdy story?
Purdy.
Is it
It's
Shanahan
Purdy.
getting
It's
off
Purdy.
the schneid?
I don't. You know what? I'm just going to say this. I think Shanahan getting off the schneid is a bunch of crap.
I mean, I do
you
too.
want to know? You want to know why?
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's been in 2 Super Bowls.
Right.
Okay. He was offensive coordinator
Right.
with that ridiculous collapse where they only had 2 first downs in
Right.
the last 28 minutes. I get it. Okay. But also, as he said to me the other day, saw the most surgical quarterback performance I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's right.
With Brady.
And he didn't coach the defense.
And he
had a
didn't coach the
28-3
defense,
lead.
by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then the the game against Kansas City, that's bothersome. That is bothersome. But also, I think he understands now.
Yeah.
When he thinks about it now, he would not say this to me, but I'm just going to tell you what I think.
Yeah.
I think he understands that Garoppolo was limited.
Agreed.
Okay,
Agreed.
and Garoppolo was a nice quarterback,
Yeah.
but he wasn't. He's not Brock Purdy.
No, definitely not.
So I don't think I'm not. I think it is in the span of 21 months. Brock Purdy has gone from being a guy who the 49ers almost didn't pick, and you know what? He would not be on the 49ers if they didn't pick him.
Right.
266.
Somebody else would have got him.
Yes,
Right.
because he has told
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan,
Right.
I was not coming here in free agency.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing you picked me.
Definitely.
But it's that in the span of 21 months, he has done the following. He's taken his team to the conference championship game after coming off the bench cold
Right.
against Miami and then winning his last whatever until the championship game, his next 7 starts, whatever it was, 6 starts. Then he ruins his elbow.
Yep.
Has elbow surgery 6 months to the day from opening day
Right.
in 2023. Comes back, is not perfect when he comes back, but plays well enough. And he plays well enough during the season, has some hiccups, has a bad game against Baltimore, and now he's won a championship game and he's in the Super Bowl. This is the last pick in the draft, the last pick, the 32nd compensatory pick in 2022, the lowest of the low. As I call it, the dollar store complimentary pick, compensatory pick is Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
And here he is.
Yeah.
And now he's playing the great Mahomes.
Right.
If somehow, some way, they win this game,
Yeah.
it's one of the best sports stories ever. It's Warner-esque.
Right.
It's Warner-esque.
Right.
It's Brady-esque, too. I mean, when you think about it, how Brady, even though the circumstances were different, the injury that opened the door for him was in year 2, not year 1. And Brady didn't get a chance to play at all until that second year. He took the team with lesser overall obvious ability
Yeah.
at that
Yes.
stage of his career than Purdy currently has. Let's hear from Brock Purdy from opening night on the importance of playing in Super Bowl 58.
The bottom line is, life isn't about you. That's what I believe, being a part of something bigger than yourself. You get wrapped up in getting all the glory and the fame and the status. I feel like that's a shallow life, and that can, fade away pretty quickly. So for me, it's, obviously, we're playing the Super Bowl. I'm very honored and thankful. I want to win a championship for this organization, but more than anything, I'm, trying to just serve my guys on this team well and love on them well, and the whole organization and everyone in my life. That's how I view it.
It's one of the benefits of being drafted so low. The mindset Tom Brady always had. He was always trying to prove himself, prove himself to Bill Belichick. Never wanted Bill Belichick to wake up one day and run the numbers under the salary cap and say, time to move on from this guy. And I think Purdy's going to have that ingrained in him because of the fact that he was the last guy taken in the draft. Think about it. By then, he's already got an idea of where he's going to sign as a free agent. He had talked earlier this year about signing with the Vikings.
Right.
You already have those plans made, even though they're not supposed to be calling the play. They do. And he had an idea. He's going here, he's going here, he's going here. Nope, he got drafted. Last guy taken. Last guy told, you'll not go where you want to go. You'll go where they tell you to go. And then look at what's happened.
Yeah, it's incredible. Incredible by him. I think equally incredible, like by what you're saying with Kyle Shanahan. It's like the stars align, like a lot like Belichick, Brady, right? Yeah, Purdy's a little different player, does it with his mind. He's a better athlete. Brady was prototypical, big-time arm, going to stand in the pocket and carve you up that way. But, yeah, I think it speaks to Purdy, like you're saying, the work ethic, the belief in himself, and then Shanahan having the vision, having the guts, not to worry about, what things might look like or, ooh, he's Mr. Irrelevant and now we're going to keep him over Trey Lance, who was the 3rd pick of the draft or whatever else, not doubling down on those moves and realizing, okay, I made a mistake, let me move on with life. We still got a lot of good things about this football team. That's where Shanahan is next level too. It's Belichickian in its way there of not doubling down on a mistake.
Here's the one other thing that I don't think people realize enough about Brock Purdy. And Chris, you would understand this because you played at Texas, all right? And George Kittle is the guy who originally made me think about it in this way, okay? Brock Purdy not only had 46 starts in a Power 5 conference, he had 46 starts in a Power 5 conference and maybe 30 he was the underdog going into the game.
Sure.
And imagine you're a quarterback going into Austin, Texas.
Right.
What is there, 100,000 people there?
Right.
You're a quarterback going into Norman, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
90,000, 100, I don't know what they are.
It's upper 90s.
But all of these places that you go into,
right,
where Iowa State, you guys are the gum on the bottom of our shoe. We don't respect Iowa State.
Sure.
So his whole college career, for 4 years,
right,
he had to look at these games as ones, man, I better be pretty good or we don't have a chance.
Yeah.
So he's not used to playing what you might call an easy game. Who knows? Maybe they play Northern. I don't know who they play. But maybe they play somebody the first week of the year. But almost every game he played in college, if he's not really good, they're not good.
Yeah. No, I think there's some value to that. Being that underdog, always going into a stadium going, wow, we're outmatched. I got to play this way today, right? Yeah. That's where I think it translates to the NFL. And that's where, yes, he's capitalized with that. He's a damn good player, right? He's not a superstar. I'm not ready to throw him into that category. But when you talk about playing the position, being able to have all the nuances of feel, knowing what the defense is going to do, understanding the coaching of Shanahan and all that, and being able to understand all his rules, back to like what you said with Jimmy Garoppolo, like the offense never got to take full bloom with Jimmy Garoppolo because he couldn't do some of the things or read the defenses as quickly as Purdy could.
Yeah.
Let alone he missed throws in that game down the stretch and things we know that certainly would have helped them too.
You know what I find really interesting about all this too? Okay, so one of the things when I'm driving with Kyle Shanahan, we start talking about how a lot of people don't think Purdy's very good. And he just gets this look on his face. It's a combination of disgust and pity.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people out there who are really good both at analyzing the game and who are good players. Like Ryan Clark is one, and there's a few others who have really questioned Purdy. And Shanahan had this great line about it. He goes, I need you to think about it this way. He goes, how many shows are there about the NFL? There's whatever there is.
Yeah.
There's, tens, 100, whatever. And they're on every day. And you know what? We play one game a week.
Yeah.
And the other 6 days, you know what guys do in this business, the media business? They talk.
Yeah.
And they got to talk about something. And they got to have an opinion about something. And it's got to be strong. It's got to be this. And so he goes, I don't think it's that odd. But he said, I would just ask one question. What do you think they would say right now, today, if Bill Walsh and Joe Montana were together having a lot of success? Wouldn't they say that, oh, well, Montana, he can't run, he can't do this, he can't do
it'd
that.
Be a similar
and
combo.
all he does is win.
Right.
And he didn't finish the thought because he doesn't want to compare himself to Walsh,
right.
or he doesn't want to compare Purdy to Montana or anything like that. But his whole point is very similar. If Bill Walsh and Joe Montana were in this game in year 2 or 3 of Montana's career,
Right.
everybody would be saying the same kind of stuff that is said about Brock Purdy.
And everything is hyperanalyzed today by everyone on the outside, and we expect the people on the inside to say something too. There have only been 2 quarterbacks who have beaten Patrick Mahomes in the postseason in his career, Joe Burrow and Tom Brady. Brock Purdy will try to be the 3rd on Sunday. Here's Mahomes from last night talking about his nemesis for now in Brock Purdy.
I've seen Brock play since he was in college and knew how good he was. I watched him play. I watched Big 12 a lot, so I watched him play a ton. And he was a winner, and he made plays happen all through his college career. And usually when you can make it happen in college, no matter what your surroundings are, and to turn around a program like he did in Iowa State, you're going to make it happen when you get your opportunity in the NFL. So I wasn't very surprised whenever he's had the success that he's had, because he's a winner and he's a guy that goes out there and competes. And more than a football player, you got to be someone that competes. And he's one of those guys.
He gets fined. You're fined in these parts for saying a guy's a winner. I think they're speeding up the tape, too. He sounds higher pitched than normal from last night.
He does sound a little higher pitched. I don't know if they're speeding up the tape.
You mean talking faster?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it seems faster than he normally talks. But it seems a little higher.
He's hilarious. Like, he's the kind of guy where when he's like, I watch a lot of Big 12 football and do that, like he does. He doesn't miss anything. I mean, we see him on social media. He's watching like some low-level Big 12 game and he's commenting on it on X, and you're like, damn, Mahomes is sitting here watching this piece of crap game.
Yeah.
He's a junkie. That's what I love about him, and that's why he's the man. Right? He's embraced it in all capacity, and that's why he works with these guys before the draft and throws with them and does all that. It's kind of like what you mentioned and alluded to earlier. It's all in all the time, Mahomes, and it's a lot like Brady, where it's like you're gonna have to kill yourself or have some incredible effort to beat a guy like Mahomes in this football game.
Really, think about the dramatic difference between the impact of winning for Mahomes and Reed and Purdy and Shanahan. It's just another pelt on the horse, as you would say.
Right.
For them.
Yeah.
For Shanahan and Purdy, it changes everything. And for Purdy, it is enormous to win a Super Bowl, to beat Mahomes in your 2nd NFL season. It ends all the talk about anybody else ever being quarterback for the 49ers until the day Brock Purdy retires. He's the guy. Purdy and Shanahan joined at the hip into the future. They're going to have to retool the defense at some point. They're going to have to – it's going to be the same thing that Reed and Mahomes have. Other names will come and go, but this becomes the nucleus of the engine that's going to drive this team into the future. And it could be it could be 49ers Chiefs getting together.
I wouldn't be shocked
every
if
few
they were here
years.
2 years ago, 2 years from now. You're right. The 49ers they're built in a way that they're going to last as well. And Shanahan and Lynch have showed, they know how to draft, right? It's not just. It's the people on their roster. There's a lot of mid-level, mid-round picks that are big-time players for their football team.
Trey Greenlaw, Fred Warner.
Right, exactly.
George Kittle.
Hufunga, right, who I know is hurt for this game.
Yeah.
But, there's a lot of there that they've killed in the 3rd and 4th round of the draft.
It's like, what is interesting to me about the draft with both of these teams, honestly.
Right.
Just remember, Brock Purdy, 262nd pick. Isaiah Pacheco, 251st pick.
Right.
Okay, so, think about it. Whatever the odds are for the MVP of this game, the 251st pick of 22 and the 262nd pick have got to be both in the top 5, right? Isn't Pacheco a top 5 MVP pick for this game?
I think he's right around there.
Okay,
but
anyway, the thing I was going to say about what is so interesting about the draft with these two teams, Jimmy Johnson used to always say, he said, I'm not really that much smarter than anybody else, but I just give myself more chances to make mistakes.
Right.
Because Jimmy always believed if I've got a 3, if I've got the 84th pick, I'd much rather have 156,
150, 184,
184
and 202.
Exactly.
Right.
I would rather have that
Right.
because I trust myself.
Right.
I know
Right.
that one of those 3 guys, my philosophy is one of those 3 guys has a better chance
than
to be
hitting
an
a hit
impact
jackpot
player
on one guy.
than hitting a jackpot
Right.
on number 84.
Right.
Yeah, and which sometimes and Les Snead feels that way.
Yeah.
With the Rams, and Les Snead has done a fantastic job. Brad Holmes feels that way.
No doubt.
Ifiatu Melifonwu is a great example of that. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a great. So I think this is a great example. These two teams with the lower picks that are playing such impact roles for their teams.
Yep.
This is a lesson for general managers also. It's a lesson to basically say, it's why, in my opinion, the Chicago Bears should trade that one.
Agreed. Build a team is what you're saying.
Build a team.
Build a team.
We've been
Stop
saying it
making
for
it about
weeks.
one guy.
We've been saying it for weeks.
Oh, we got the magic pill. He'll do everything for us.
It's
No,
ridiculous.
That
Get more
won't
lottery
happen.
tickets. It's
Right.
more lottery tickets. More guys you can draft, more guys you can develop, more guys who can become nucleus members of your team well into the future.
Yeah, it's just unrealistic, right? It is. It's the magic pill, right? I'm looking at the guy right here. Mahomes is the magic pill on the bottom. He didn't have a team around him 2020. No matter how great he played in that game against Bucks, they couldn't overcome it, right? They weren't there. The tackles were hurt. Their defense was the same. They totally flipped the team over. You got to have a team, right? We grew up. I grew up. We both, all of us. Elway was like, it was Mahomes. Oh, my gosh, he can win almost every game by himself, except when he got down to the Super Bowl. Then you need a team. Yeah. And it's just too hard to find that magic pill.
And they
that
eventually
everybody's
got a
looking for.
team by violating the salary
Let's
cap.
get a defense. Let's run the ball.
And they did.
And they did.
They lost like third-round pick and more. I mean, that was a bit. That
was early salary cap days.
Yeah, and that was
figuring
like
it out.
before there were so many of us swarming all over the NFL. That would have been a huge, huge story. But they got busted with salary cap violations relating to Elway's contract, so they'd have cap space available for other players.
Sure.
It worked. Whatever they had to give up on the back end, it worked.
Yeah,
they won
that's
2
right.
straight Super Bowls.
No doubt.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.